Mr. B here again, bringing you another awesome math video. The video I'm going to make today is about being able to find the prime factorization. Some people might know it as writing some number as a product of primes. And this is useful. I teach this topic in grade 10. And a lot of people find this useful the way I do it. And so I'm going to share it with you guys, and hopefully that helps. So basically a prime factorization. And let me see if I can't write this. Prime factorization is when you write a number as a product of prime numbers. So what I mean by that, so a very simple example would be 12. So 12, we can multiply various numbers together to get 12. 1 times 12, 3 times 4. But when we write something as a product of primes, we want to write it as a product of prime numbers. So 12 would be written as 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 and 3 are both prime numbers. So the way I do this and how I would figure something like this out is to use the L method. So in using the L method, we kind of need to know some prime numbers. So prime numbers are basically a number that the only numbers that multiply to get that number are 1 and itself. So for example, 2. The only numbers I can multiply together to get 2 is 2 times 1. Same with 3, 3 times 1, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and they go on, 23. And all these numbers here, I can only multiply 1 by itself to get it. Alright, so let's see how the L method works. So let's just pick a number. Let's pick something. Let's pick 24, even though it's not that much more complicated than 12. It's still useful to know how to do it. So let's pick 24. So 24. So the first thing I do is I pick the smallest prime number that'll divide 24. So 2. 24 divided by 2, and that's equal to 12. And I look at this number, and well, that's not a prime number. I got to keep going. So I'm going to take 12 now, and I'm going to divide it by, well, what's the lowest prime number that divides 12? It's 2 still. And I end up with 6. The lowest prime number that divides 6. 6 again is divisible by 2. That gets me 3. And the thing about 3 is it's a prime number, so then I can stop. So you can see my L right here. This is why I call it the L method, because your prime factorization comes directly out in an L shape. So that's why I like to use it, because it's very easy, it's very visual. You know you got this done correctly if you make your L. So then we can write 24 as a product of its primes. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And some teachers might want you to write it out as with powers written. So if I have 3 2's, I can write 3 2's as 2 to the power 3. The same thing as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. There you go. Alright, let's try a slightly harder number. Why don't we try a bigger number? Let's go with 324. So again, I'll look at what numbers divide 324. So the 324 divided by 2, and that's 162. Now let's divide 162. That's divisible by 2. Divided by 2, and that's 81. Now 81 is not divisible by 2, so I go to the next number. 81 is divisible by 3, and that gets me 27. 27 divisible by 3 is 9, and 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. So I end up, my last number here is a prime number, and so I make my L just like that, and we write out our prime factorization. So our prime factorization for 324 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And that's the same as 2 to the 2 times 3 to the 4. So guys, that's really it to being able to find the prime factorization or the product of primes. Very useful. You can apply this to finding the GCF, the LCM, square roots, simplifying square roots, or cube roots or anything like that. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see some of you guys in class.